Yo, Mary Crosby looked Twitter and Bravo in the eye and said, and I'm telling you, I'm not going nowhere. Y'all, Mary Crosby said she ain't going nowhere. And all these rumors that she has been kicked off of Salt Lake City are nothing but rumors. She said she's actually in negotiations now to come back for the next season. Y'all, how do we have confirmation on this? Well, guess what? Mary Crosby, right? I like Mary Crosby. I don't say what anybody says. Mary Crosby was on Twitter Spaces. Y'all need to start checking out Twitter Spaces. And she spilled tea. Y'all ready for this? She even told us what was up with those messed up reunion looks. Y'all ready for this? Let's get into it. But before we do, hit like, comment, and subscribe. And just to let you guys know, I'm going to be covering the Tasha case all week. My members only live is Friday. Hit the like button. You know you into it. All right, y'all. Leg up. Okay. Now, there's been a lot of talk of Mary Crosby being fired. Jenny's trying to say that she's racially insensitive and all this stuff. However, Mary came out on the only mouthpiece she trusts, which is Twitter, and she used, her Mary magic. Now, here's the thing, right? Mary said she's not hiding from anyone. She's willing to do a sit-down interview with Andy Cohen. That's right, Mary. What you doing messing with us little scrubs and parasites? You better go straight to that Bravo source. But she said she doesn't trust YouTube and YouTubers. As a YouTuber, I would like to say I'm offended. And I would also like to say I'm going to get Mary Crosby on my channel. Speak it into existence. But here's the thing, right? She did quote that there was one interview coming out. I think it came out with Sherelle. She had some of Mary's family on. And there's also another YouTube, of course, Up and Adam, who's doing an explosive sit down with someone connected in the Mary situation. Mary said that anything that comes from her mom, right, is pretty much hearsay. She said she hasn't spoken to her mom in over 20. She also talked about her sister, where she said, yeah, I loved my sister. And then she made a Freudian slip and said, oh no, I mean, I love my sister. See, here's the thing. Mary comes from a very complicated family. And if you listen to the interview on Sherelle's World, I think it was with her uncle or her cousin, it sounds like, this is just me, and I'm still deep diving, that Mary's husband and at one time grandfather, to me, sounds like really manipulative. He sounds like he's the orchestrator about all this. And he sounds like, to me, he's even the reason that Mary was or is allegedly out in these streets looking a little crazy and moving a little crazy. Okay, now keep that in mind. Up and Adam is having another explosive interview. I believe that he's dropping, if not today, in the next couple of days. So keep your eyes on that, because it is with Mary's mother and her stepfather. And he's promising that it has everything that it needs, but also going on the offensive, saying, don't believe a word that comes out of my mom's mouth. Listen, to a point, someone can speak on you, right? Your family can speak on you to a point. But I do think that if you haven't spoken to somebody for 20 years, what do they really know about currently what's going on in your life besides rumors and innuendo, right? And I say that because if you're not talking to your family and your family's estranged, doesn't it make sense that people that don't really like you would try to approach your estranged family with information that may or may not be true, but in the hopes that it will somehow embarrass you? This is just my hot take on it, but I'm going to be watching all the interviews and actually replaying the interview on Sherelle's World to actually see what's going on. Okay, now before we get into all the other dirt she said, Mary Crosby literally addressed, all the messed up reunion looks at Salt Lake City. Y'all, when I say it looked like Jen looked like Isma from the Emperor's New Groove, who is it? Heather looked like a peacock. Man, I just can't, right? She actually said, don't blame the wives, because she said that Bravo actually decides to reunion looks. Now, here's the thing. She broke it down in which she said, listen, Bravo actually picks the theme, but they also pick your outfits in the way that you send Bravo your top 3 picks. And then the Bravo producers decide what they want you to wear. Now, I side-eyed Mary on that one, because I said, okay, maybe, but you're still submitting the raw material. So if it's like they're picking the top out of 3, you still had to give them 3 looks. So does that mean that you chose that the Salt Lake City cast chose to give them one crazy Vegas showgirl on Peacock steroids look, and the other ones were like, Gucci down to the socks? No. How about all three looks were whack and odd, right? And they picked the best one. They're like, ugh, just go with the peacock feathers. Just go, because there ain't nothing else here. The other one wearing alligator from head to toe. Just go with the peacock. And that's my opinion. But let's get back to the rest of the messy tea she dropped. And also, talk about how it seemed like all these reality TV girlies are paying themselves, at least for the first few seasons. It's an article that Tamara Tattles, go to her blog if you haven't seen it, right? Tamara Tattles had about it was spilled from sources that everybody was only getting paid $6,000 an episode for Salt Lake City. This is when they were talking about Mary quitting. I'm going to talk about it in a second, but let's get back into Mary's tea. Then we'll talk about how those girls are playing themselves. Another odd takeaway. But again, this is Mary. I love the way she's so random. I'm random, right? She literally mentioned that she is not a fan of Kenya Moore. Now, I don't know what the source of their beef is. I don't know Kenya, but I like her on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But it just struck me as odd that she even mentioned Kenya and then had to say that she didn't like her. Anyway, let's get back into this, right? Meredith actually shares that she's actually good with Jen and Meredith. She said she's cool with Jen and Meredith, right? She then went on to say that Jen actually reached out to her to see if she was okay when she was a no-show for the reunion. So even though the cameras always make it seem like they're fussing and fighting and arguing, maybe that's just their friendship. They know it's all love. And Mary seemed very, very confident in the fact that her and Jen are Gucci, and so's Meredith. The thing that I thought was interesting, she said that she doesn't understand what Whitney's beef is with her. Whitney, I've already said my opinion of her. I think that she likes to defile things. I think that she is a destabilizer. I think she is an agent of chaos, but not for good. Like, honestly, I just think she likes to defile things. Again, same thing with Heather. She said Heather is generally an unhappy person. Now, if I'm not mistaken, right? Heather, when we first got introduced for season 1, when they were saying about, she left the Mormon religion, I remember she left a bad taste in my mouth because she was like, yeah, I do, I drink, I do this and that. I like having sexual relations with melanated men. She literally said black men. And then she said, I do everything I'm not supposed to do, or everything that's bad for me. And they let that slide. And I remember I was looking side-eyeing Heather. Whitney also, they're from that Mormon religion. I don't know. They give me vibes. I don't want to say too much on this video, but they give me vibes. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. So that could be the root of it. And not to be outdone, she did throw a shot at Jenny. She actually said the reason she didn't speak to Jenny and her boo at Seth's party is because I don't know them. She literally pulled a Mariah Carey and said, I don't know her. Okay, so she spilled tea. Get on Twitter Spaces. I'm going to keep my eyes open if she comes on again. But again, Mary coming off as really warm, really fun, really likable, which makes me wonder about her season edit. Now, again, here's what I think is going on. I think that Jen actually getting arrested literally threw a monkey wrench in Bravo's plans. I think for season 2, they were going to focus on Mary, focus on the rumors of the church, focus on people saying it was a cult, literally have a pile on, because every season they have to pile on one person and to completely try to destroy them, annihilate them, make them cry. However, when Jen got arrested, that threw a monkey wrench in their plans, and they had a new plot line. But the thing is, they keep going back to the plot line of Mary. Again, who knows what happens in productions? We saw from the greatest hoax that has ever been put on a 20th century. It was thinking Portia Williams was a good person with a good heart. So if they could make Portia Williams look like she had a good heart and good soul, then I know they can work their production magic and try to make Mary look like she is literally Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Queen off her rocker. Listen, I watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I will review it, but y'all don't be watching it. But I have a soft spot for Mary, okay? But let's get into also how all the girlies are playing themselves and let you know how sick people are to actually be on reality TV when all their business is exposed. Why? Y'all, Tamara Tattles is reporting, right, that for the first season of Salt Lake City, all the girlies only got paid $2,000. Now they banded together, is what Tamara Tattles is reporting, and they increased, right? They increased their salary to $6,500 episode. And it's expected if things go good, they'll get $10,000 an episode in season 3. Y'all, I don't know about y'all, but is $6,500 enough for you to destroy your reputation and kill and just play yourself on TV? Is $10,000 enough? These girlies are supposed to have money. The only person that should be considering this is Jen Shaw, and not because she's broke, but just because she could use extra money for her legal fees. So again, I asked you, what really is going on? Let me tell y'all something, and I've been saying this. Fame is a hell of a drug, and it shocks me sometimes how much people will play themselves. I do want to make it clear that all these figures are for Salt Lake City. Of course, Kandi Burruss makes way more than that. I think Bethany made $1 million per season. Kandi probably makes more than that, right? I think Nene Leakes at her prime made $2.85 million. This is what is being reported by TamaraTattles.com. Go ahead and check it out. And of course, Erica Jane, it was reported made closer to $68,000. That's fine because they've been on the show for 12 years. I'm talking about the logic it takes for someone that has a good life, that may or may not be engaged in illegal activity, that the fact that you will take these pennies, not because you're using it for a come up, not because you're using it for a business opportunity, but simply because you want to be seen and you want people to know, and you know the way you'll be ripped apart, and you know the way any low down thing you did will come up to fruition. Y'all, I gotta ask you, is it worth it? Again, would I do reality TV for $2.85 million? Hell, open my life up like a book. However, would I do it for $2,000 an episode or $6,500 an episode? Nah. Ain't no way. Anyway, my little Tattle Tells, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you want me to cover Mary Cosby more? Do you want me to peep into the reunion of Salt Lake City and see what's going on? It's probably going to be boring because Mary ain't there. And Jen Shaw, she only got 0 to 100. I like Jen, but she is either 0 or she is 100, and I don't want to hear Whitney speak, and Heather is on that list of do not talk to. So honestly, I don't know. Do y'all think the reunion is going to be good without Mary? Doubtful. Anyway, my little Tattle Tells, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think, and make sure you turn on your notifications because I am going to be going live a lot this week. All right.